Hello everyone, my name is Amir Qureshi and I want to welcome you to Unfolding Destiny, where we teach you how to build your life within the context of your true identity. Today's video is going to be awesome. It teaches you how to get your desires to fight for you instead of the other way around. So most people have it backwards and it ruins them. It destroys all their chances for growth, for personal success, for fulfillment. Let's take a look at the movie Scarface. This is one of my favorite movies, and in that movie there's one of my favorite lines of all time. Tony Montana, he goes, first you get the money. You get the money, then you get the power. You get the power, then you get the woman. What does this mean? It means that, well, if you go after relationships directly, then you're going to screw yourself over. So you got to go after the money first and then build your empire accordingly. But if you remember in that movie, Tony Montana also screwed up big time. He had the cops after him. He had the entire government after him. He had people just on his case. He pretty much built something that was not sustainable. And so, as they say, with great power comes great responsibility. What do you do instead? How can you get everything that you wanted and still be happy and fulfilled along the way? And how do you make it so that it's sustainable, so that you don't just lose it? So here's what I want to share with you, okay? So most people, they have it backwards. What they'll do is they'll start off with this mindset. They want the relationships. They want love. They want power. They're confused. They're lost. They're broken. And they're fixed on that one thing. You see, for them, they live life in the moment, in the fast lane. They want to buy that fancy car, that house. They want to buy the boat, the watch, all those fancy things along the way. They want the relationships along the way. And all right, cool. In one perspective, it's okay to go after those things. Cool, you got it, bro. Yeah. But what happens when you pull the curtain back? The truth is, what's happening with these people is that they start off with these afflictions. They want the money, they want the relationships, they want the houses, the fancy cars. They're fixated on that one thing. They live life one thing at a time, and they're lost, confused, and broken. So what do they decide to do? Well, let me Scarface it. Let me go get the money. Okay, so getting the money means that I gotta find a job. Now, you get into some certain predicaments here. Your money is tied up to the job that you're pursuing, whether or not you like it. That's almost regardless of the point, right? Hopefully you like your job. Hopefully you're happy and fulfilled by it, but maybe you're not. Maybe for you, your job is a means to an end, in which case you're going to buy things, and then what happens? They create more problems. You buy things, and they create more problems. Buy things, they create more problems, and so on and so forth, and boom, that's kind of how it unfolds. That's how it carries out, okay? So they have this whole mentality where it's like, if I just had that one thing, then things would be better. But the biggest issue for these people is that they haven't solved a big enough problem for them to warrant the things that they need. So in my previous video last week, I talked about pursuing bigger problems, and when you do that, a lot of things kind of sort themselves out. This is kind of a deeper perspective into that problem as it relates to your own life, into that topic as it relates to your own life. Here's what you should do. The better way is this. You start off not petty, you're cool, you're calm, and you're collected. You're not fazed by all these distractions. I mean, sure, you might want to get a house someday. You might want to find your significant other. You might want to buy a boat, a car. You might want to buy that watch. All those things are fine, whatever, but they're not really on your radar. You're not looking for them because you couldn't be bothered. But what are you going to do? You're going to buy the thing and then you're going to be back on your mission anyway. You're going to get the relationship, then you're going to be back on your mission anyway. And as I had mentioned before, when you typically get the thing that you want, there's more problems attached with it. You get that relationship, now suddenly you're distracted from your purpose. You get that car, now you have car payments. You buy that house, now you've got a mortgage. So there's all these other responsibilities tied to the other side of the things that you want to acquire. So how can you make this more manageable, more sustainable, and in such a way where you can grow along the way and build your attractive qualities and your characteristics and your influence without being hurt by the things that you're acquiring? Well, here's how you do it. Instead of focusing on the money, as Scarface would say, Don't focus on the money, because you're just focusing on the money. Well, there's a million ways to make money, and there's a million ways to be ruined by money, right? Instead of focusing on the money, focus on solving a big problem. And that problem has to be personal to you. So I'm not talking about solving the problem of getting a beanie bag into a cornhole. Okay, that's not... All right, I'm sure there's a way to kind of contradict and counter what I just said there. Someone out there is going to find a way to market that. But it has to be a problem that makes sense, that's important to you. Hopefully other people aren't solving it, and chances are they're not going to be solving it anyway, at least not in the way that you could. But solve a big problem. Now, that problem could be something to the effect of, how do I consistently land this basketball from half court into the hoop? From half court. And if I can do that consistently, if I can master that skill, here's the incredible thing. You don't even have to be drafted by the NBA to be valuable. See, you solve a big problem, then you become the expert behind that problem. No one else knows what you do. No one knows what you know. No one has the perspective that you have. And then you market the solution. See, the title up here, or in these brackets, is the solution behind all this, by the way, is solve a big problem and then market the solution. See, if you can do that, solve the problem, but market it as well, that's when you're golden. Oh my God, that's incredible, very powerful stuff here. I need to kind of give you some references here. I need to kind of frame this up in a way where it's digestible and makes sense to you. Let's take a look at someone like Elon Musk, okay? Elon Musk is not a physicist. He didn't get his PhD, his doctorate from Stanford. He dropped out. But what did he do? He solved a very big problem, a couple of them actually. Right now it's about getting rocket ships into outer space. It's about privatizing the space sector and selling rockets and ships to the government, making it more cheap to buy that stuff. Instead of them buying them from foreign nations, the government can buy directly from us. He's also figured out a way to make the electric vehicle come to life, and now people are producing electrical vehicles. So he solved these big problems, but he also brought them to market. He didn't get a PhD for that, though. He just solved a big problem and made it marketable. Then take a look at the physicist who does get a PhD. Okay, I'm not here to knock PhDs, but what I will say is a lot of the time when you do get a PhD for something, it's for something that really doesn't matter all that much. It's like, all right, well, I want to solve the problem of finding this new subatomic particle that'll only last nanoseconds, and it's only the result of me shooting these things and particles at the subatomic level in this collider. And if I can make them combine and explode, maybe something will be born within milliseconds. I mean, like, okay, sure, you solved a problem, but did you really make it marketable? Did anyone really benefit from it? And so there's two sides of the coin. Yes, solve a problem, but don't just be in the dark about it. Find a way to market it as well. And that's when there's power. So when you take a look at life from the lens of problem solving, then things start to change. Problem solving with marketability. So I want to give you the example of someone like, let's just say Bill Gates, right? Bill Gates versus a burger flipper, okay? They're both solving a problem. The burger flipper is solving the problem of rotating your patties on the grill, okay? Bill Gates solved the problem of making computers ubiquitous all across the world so that anyone can access them and have their own operating system, and he made it so that computers are easier to use, so you don't have to write DOS code. He made it simple. And that was a problem that a lot of people love the solution to, and we use their products, right? So the thing is, choose a big problem, and the bigger the problem you solve, the more you're going to get paid for it. So this flips the tables, okay? So if you start off cool, calm, collected, you're not petty, you're not worried about whether or not this girl or this guy likes you, you're not worried about stupid stuff that's inconsequential to your life. Instead, what you're focusing on is solving a very big problem, becoming the expert behind it, marketing the solution, and becoming the leader. Now, suddenly, you are that person who's standing half court, making these half court shots, and you're sinking them in, shot after shot, and you're posting that stuff on Instagram, you're posting it on social media. Now you're growing a following. Now, guess what? The people, you form a tribe, the people come to you. And then you get a reputation. And then the power comes to you. The fame comes to you. Money, you don't even have to worry about money because you've made your marketing channels. You've created these roads for people to find you and pay you for your service. And then guess what? It's not like that's just the only vehicle that you can travel through. Maybe the NBA does draft you, or maybe you become hired by the NBA to become a coach for that specific skill set for another team. And then you're being paid millions of dollars. See, you solved a problem that was personal to you, and you started promoting it. You started making it marketable. And then, because you solved that one little problem, well, guess what? The world rewarded you for it. Instead of you going after all these isolated things, these things came after you. Even the relationships, and people want to be associated with those who are successful. So in that case, instead of going after that one girl or that one guy and throwing everything after them, instead of going after that one car and then having it so that even if you do get it, even if you buy that Lamborghini, you're paying a $2,000 a month lease on it and then you're broke at the end of the day. Instead of doing all that, why not just solve very big problems, become the expert behind those problems, market the solutions, and then become a leader. And then people come to you and everything flocks over to you. That's a much better position to be in. I'd rather be in that space than the other space, okay? And so the challenge behind this really is, though, I don't want to oversimplify this. Solving a problem, especially a very big problem, can take years. That's why it's not for everyone. Not everyone's going to do this. Most people would rather just go ahead and get that paycheck. Even if you want to go to college, let's just say you want to become like a lawyer. Okay, sure. Then you'll get paid like lawyers will. The problem you solved along the way was, I guess, getting a degree and going through law school, and that's important. And then you're going to solve other people's problems with that. But even as a lawyer, or even as a doctor, even as a teacher, even as a janitor, you can flip the script no matter what your position is. If you're a burger flipper, you can flip that as well. You can flip that as well. You can change things around. You can change your situation by realizing that no matter where you are, there are problems to be solved, small and big and huge. And then as long as those problems matter to you, if there's something that resonate with you, then that's good. Then you can solve them, and then you can actually flip the script. You can change your life circumstances. Just please, just one more note here. Make sure it's a problem that you do care about, because your entire reputation is going to be formed around it. Do you want to be that cornhole master? Like, is this what you want to dedicate your life to? Hey, I figured out a way to get this beanie bag into that cornhole. And then suddenly, like, I'm the expert of cornhole, and then I figured out a way to market the solution, and then I've gotten leadership around that, then I got a tribe and relationships, and then, like, okay, cool. At the end of the day, though, like, you might get all those external things, but then they're not going to be sustainable, because unless you truly care about cornhole, unless you really care about it passionately enough, then you're not going to go through the years it takes to master cornhole. So find something that matters to you, something that's bigger than yourself, something that makes you stretch your boundaries and reach for your potential. You do that, then you're golden. Then you don't have to worry about all those external things. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a like, share, comment. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.